All right, I am going to call the meeting to order. The policeman hopefully should be here. They can add that. All right, before we get started, I had to cancel last month's meeting because
I don't think so.
the mayor asked.
Oh, this is gonna fit over there.
Please.
Yeah, that's it.
Please.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I know.
I had to cancel last month's meeting because I was asked to by the mayor. So we didn't have minutes from the last meeting, but we still have to okay the minutes from February 28th, which you all received. So I need a motion. Okay, the minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Were you here or were you away?
I wasn't, but I read the minutes.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to get started. We're honored this evening to have the new president of the Board of Education. You, of course, all know Alderman because she's been active in the township for a long time, but she assumed the head of the Board of Education. So I'm going to open the meeting to her. She's going to give a presentation. There'll be some questions. And we'll take it from there. Alderman, you're on.
Thank you. Thank you. So I know most of you. I'm going to stand so it's easier to see everyone. Going to briefly talk about our district goals for this year and where we are. It's a mid-year review, so we presented that. We have a public session, but most of the public doesn't show up. We had a mid-year review in March, so I'll just briefly tell you. The first goal for the Board of Education is on health and safety, which is continue to ensure the health and safety of students, staff, and the community, and seek out those who benefit through policy, procedure, and promotion of wellness programs, thereby addressing food insecurity and physical, mental, and emotional wellness. So by mid-year, we have done food security initiatives. The first one is the active participation with FISC, which I'm assuming most of you know is the food insecurity initiative that my Vice President Sammy Siobhan has been, chairing that a lot with the food bank. We've applied for approval for an enrichment of dinner program at Pine Grove Manor. We've done a feasibility study for the Franklin Township Food Bank to construct a wellness hub at Pine Grove Manor because we have space there. So we've done a feasibility study so we can get a wellness hub there. We're working on a SNAP-GAP grant implementation and also doing our summer grocery program for communication. Also, we're doing mental health initiatives. We've done the NJ4S statewide student support services. We hosted social emotional learning week activities in all schools. We're doing surveys. We're anticipating the adoption of the Danielson 2022 evaluation rubrics. If you're not aware, our teachers' evaluation is done through Danielson model, and the model that we have is redundant now, so every few years we adopt the new rubrics. And the most current rubrics is the Danielson model for 2022, which is the one that we're anticipating adopting that. And there's been a 50% increase in number of students serviced by Effective School Solutions. That has helped us a lot. With physical health initiatives, we've done 3 phases transportation safety audit. As some of you might be aware, we lost a special needs student in a bus due to the tightening of the seat belt, and the aide that was with the student was not taking care. So we did a safety audit, initiated a safety audit, and because of that, we did a 3-phase transportation audit. And because of that audit, when we sent the transportation bid out this year, we made clear instructions that, whoever comes back with the bid, the buses have to have cameras, make sure that the bus drivers are, trained. There will be professional development for those bus drivers done by our transportation and safety department. So there were a lot of parameters based on that audit. And yes.
I just want to know, this audit that you did, Was that for all kids or was that for special needs only?
No, the audit was done on transportation. So it was not on kids, the audit was on transportation. So that when we go out to bid this year, we've already gone out to bid, we wanted to ensure that whichever bus company comes in, they're more stricter. So that was a third party, private third party that we organized to do the audit so that we can ensure safety of all kids. Yes.
Are the buses in effect now?
No, so it's going to be for the new bus transportation audit for the new school year, effective
And the company
September.
that you use right now is Montauk?
Right now it's
Montauk,
Montauk.
and
Yes,
so they'll
right now it's
reapply?
Montauk.
Right.
Yeah, so we're in the phase of the bids have come in, and hopefully we'll have, in this meeting or the next meeting, we'll select the final.
Now, does the Franklin Board of Education own any other own buses?
No, we don't.
Okay.
We have probably maybe one or two small vans that
For
we own.
special needs?
Yeah, that's all we have right now. Yeah. Any other questions? And
Yes.
please feel free to stop me in between, yeah.
You mentioned something about the Pine Grove Gardening
Wellness hub.
What is that? Is
So
that-
the food bank came to us and they said that they're running out of space. And we had them do a feasibility study. Most of our kids at Pine Grove Manor actually fall under the economically disadvantaged and use services from the food bank. And their hope was that they can create another hub at Pine Grove Manor property. We have like a large property at Pine Grove Manor, so we've given them permission to do a feasibility study if they can get a hub of the food bank at the Pine Grove Manor location.
Well, I know that you have, I used to help them grow the garden, they have a garden there.
They do have a garden there.
Yes, sir, I
And
was
we
talking
have
about-
gardens at the other elementary schools also.
And at Naaman Williams Park was a part of that whole plan, and the county has also be a part of that whole plan. But the one you're talking about specifically that your garden is going to be, I can't use the same word that you use, I'm not as intelligent as you are, but you're saying is that going to become a part of the children's food wellness program?
Correct, so we might have like a satellite food bank location. at Pine
Oh,
Grove Manor.
right, see?
Yes.
See, and that's why you guys applied for that $10,000 grant, I think. Did you apply for a grant?
No, we haven't. We've just given them
That's not
permission,
you.
right, that's not us. Right now, we've just given them permission to come and do a feasibility study if they can have a satellite building there.
I see.
Correct,
I see.
yes.
So does that mean that if it were, that would be a satellite for the food bank, that only Pine Grove families, or would families from throughout the area?
Throughout the area,
Yeah,
neighboring
yeah.
areas could, have an advantage, they can walk there. Instead of if they're not able to get transportation to go to where the food bank is currently, because they're so running out of space and everything, they'll have another location to, access services from.
It was for, but originally it was for all the people in that area.
Yes.
Even though it was at Pine Grove School.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
I see. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And then continuing with the physical health initiatives, we actually increased healthcare access through a partnership with Zufall Health. Zufall Healthcare is another nonprofit. They actually started with bringing their bus to Franklin Middle School at Hamilton campus, and they were servicing our students who are, some of them don't have health insurance, and they were servicing those students. Time after time, their bus would break down sometimes, or they would have some technical issues. So we gave them space inside the building, gave them a room so they could come and service those kids. And we've created a partnership with them, and we've given them space there. We're constructing a Zufall Health Center there so they can service more of our children and their families. So we're creating that partnership right now as we speak.
Right.
Construction is ongoing. We also opened a Franklin Warrior Partnership Health Center that is on Veronica Avenue. So all our staff that are on our health insurance plan can now visit the health center and get services of not only a primary care physician, also an occupational health therapist, a behavioral health therapist. There is a pharmacy on site, and that partnership has also become partnership with the township. So Franklin Township municipal employees who are on the Franklin Township health plan can also go to that health center. So that's created a partnership. So that's another one of our health and safety initiatives. And then we're also doing Sustainable Health Jersey, making sure that our schools are sustainable, We have solar panels at Claremont Elementary that are giving us a lot of benefit, and we're looking into studying where we can get more solar panels into other buildings that we currently have. And of course, we're doing active promotion of fitness center memberships, around fitness centers there. General safety initiatives that we've also taken place, we have collaborated with YMCA. We're doing water safety programs for grade 2. We already have a collaboration with YMCA. They do our before care and after care program for our public schools. So we've done the water initiative program where they'll take our grade 2 kids to the Hillsborough Y. They bus them there and teach them about water safety and teach them swimming. We do know that we've lost a few kids in town because of water safety, so we're already proactively making sure that those kids are, getting water safety programs. We have updated our safety plan to include major revisions for reunification process. We're completing our surveillance system upgrade. We've completed our secure vestibule projects that were ongoing. We've upgraded our communication systems to align with our Franklin Township Police Department upgrades so that, all the systems are aligned. We can work with our police department. And we've also distributed the Franklin Township Police Department Child Identification Program kits recently. So that's goal 1, which was health and safety. Any questions on that?
Yes. No, I have a question about the water. I'm going to make a request, because I was asked to make a request from you guys, to test the water in the primarily 4th Ward, as in the area of the Sampson G. Smith School, the other middle school, and the daycare areas in the area. In the 4th Ward, primarily, and the 4th and 5th Ward, that there be an immediate request a study of the lead in that water in those particular areas, please. And for the report that comes back to the Human Relations Commission to let us know, because that's been an ongoing request for the residents in the particular areas in which the schools are in.
I don't know if you make that request with the Board of Education, you have to go to the council for that.
You'll have to go to the council
to
for
go
that,
to-
but I can tell you that
You have to
we
go to-
annually do lead testing.
You have to go to the council.
state
nothing to do
regulation
with the Board
by
of
the schools.
Education.
Yes.
This is only the Board of Education, not the council.
Yes, we do lead testing
But see,
regularly at our
that's why you get
schools.
things done. That's why I would let at least know,
I'm just
you know what I'm saying?
But I will make a note, and I
Thank
can,
you very much for
definitely
that. Yeah.
send information to Gary and he can pass it on.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I just had 2 questions. Number 1 is, you're cut in the budget, so, right, correct? I mean, you didn't get your full funding on there. Is
We
that
have a
correct?
cut on our budget.
That's
We
right,
have
yeah.
over a 400,000 cut on
Right,
our budget.
right.
And we have, first time after many years, we're tapping into our reserves. And that's how we are going to, make sure that we are good for the budget this year.
And then the other question comes up in a lot of schools is, and Franklin's a little different than all the other schools, is chronic absenteeism. How are you addressing that through the Board of Education, through the schools?
So we are definitely looking into that. COVID has been,
Right.
COVID is behind us now. We're into the
That's
new
correct.
normal. But we are still struggling with chronic absenteeism, not only with students, but also with staff. So those are the social emotional learning programs that we are bringing in. We're working with Rutgers Behavioral Health to address those issues, and with a lot of restorative practices that we're working on those.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I'll go on to goal 2, which is on equity, which says continue to progress towards the elimination of systemic racism and lingering white supremacy, and remove access barriers so all students have equal access to rigorous academic programming. Ensure that inclusion and belonging of all Franklin Township Public Schools community members are embedded in the structure of the district, and any attempt or practice to discriminate will not be tolerated. To meet our goal in March midway, we've done professional development and implemented CLR, which is culturally linguistic responsibility. We have done professional development and implementation of restorative practices. We piloted this year an AP program of African American Studies. We have fully implemented race, gender, and equity graduation requirements. Starting 2025, our seniors will have to complete a race, gender, and equity graduation program. That'll be a requirement for graduation. We will be holding our second annual Diversity Night Festival, which is scheduled for May 3rd next month. We continue to work with equal opportunity schools, and we continue use of NN83 assessment for nonverbal students. Any questions on that?
So I want to just commend you on, you established, I believe, the equity and inclusion supervisor, Darren Plummer.
Yes.
And Darren was here. Darren's graduate of the Franklin School.
Oh, Franklin High School.
And did a great job, and the committee's great. And we are participating in that event next week.
Awesome.
The human relations.
Excellent.
Yes.
We'll see you there. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we're going to have a table there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Good. School is followed.
So that was goal 2. Goal 3 is staffing, which is huge for us. So
great.
continue to build capacity in current staff through high-quality professional development and opportunity for growth towards leadership opportunities while recruiting and sustaining a diverse, high-quality workforce. When I was growing up, I didn't have teachers that looked like me, and that's our struggle, and that's what, even we see today. Kids don't have teachers that look like them. So spring 2024, we had a recruitment boot camp for aspiring teachers. We hosted job fairs for recruitment of instructional staff. We continue to be members of CJ Pride. We have restructured our supervisory and support staff in areas to enhance collaboration. We have implemented board-approved recruitment and retention plan where we provided difficult high areas like world languages, special need teachers who also can teach science and math. We provided bonus programs, and we also incentivized special education substitute teacher placements in the recent months this year. Any questions on staffing?
So what is the current percentage of, when you say they don't look like me when they're growing up, what is the percentage of the students versus the staff? What is the disparity?
We're getting there, slow and steady.
So what is the gap?
I would say initially, maybe 10 years ago, it was 90% white and 10% people of color. And we are slowly closing that gap. We've come down to at least 60% white and 40% people of color. So you will notice that our administrative staff is becoming people of color. We're hiring people with intention who are not only qualified, but qualified people of color in terms of administration as well as staff. So we're going and attending a lot of recruitment fairs, being intentional of CJ Pride job fairs so we can attract teachers. We recently signed up with an international company that can do H1s for teachers who are coming from Latin American countries, because we are, and not only Franklin, there are a lot of other public schools that don't have teachers of world languages. So we're trying to get those teachers from other countries who can come and teach world languages to children. We have a high Hispanic Latinx population. We have a high...
So how did that bid go out, that particular company?
That went through the bid, through the State Department of Education. They are helping us with that. Yep.
So
this
you
is
still-
a lot of, sorry.
Right. So what is the differentiation between the administrative staff versus the teaching staff? Like what is the percentage?
So administrative staff is fewer anyways, because there's like a one principal for every school and, two vice principals. But schools, teaching staff is definitely more. And we're seeing that change coming in. That wave is slowly moving in. We have students here and they can, really tell you if they see, the change happening in the teaching staff, for sure.
No, we continue to hear that from our kids too. So this is a general question, right? Backing up for a second. So there is a lot of good work that you guys are doing. A lot of efforts, initiatives, partnerships, etc. that the Board of Education is driving. With these efforts, initiatives, how are you getting this word out to our communities? Because frankly, there's a lot of misconception about the purpose of the board and about the actions related to the board.
Yeah.
It might be a really good idea for you to think about avenues where you can get the word out to the community.
So we use, Franklin Reporter does a lot of articles for us. We have Tap Into does articles for us. We have our Franklin Township newspaper that, half of us, they let us put articles in there. We use that. Unfortunately, public schools don't have funding, and we're not allowed to, send out flyers and stuff that other private schools and charter schools can send out to, parents at home. So we can't really use that avenue that we can send a newsletter. We can definitely use our website. So we've enhanced our website. We're working on the second phase of enhancements, and it's a lot of word of mouth. Like every board meeting we tell people, we're hoping that people are watching those board meetings on TV if they're not coming in, and we tell them go on our websites. Our PTOs, I can say, have changed a lot with the generations. Like when my kids were little, we were at PTO meetings every month. We were at board meetings every month. We don't see that parent engagement anymore. And we understand, times have changed. Parents are, busy with jobs and, taking care of kids, taking them to after-school
Economic survival.
activity. Yes. So
I will offer this. So I live in a 500-home community, and I'm the president of the HOA. If there is, and Sami lives in that community, right? And we
Yes.
still don't know. I mean, I will be honest, Sami and I have stayed in the same community, and I knew none of these initiatives
yeah.
and efforts that you just
I
talked
do.
about.
Excellent.
So if it makes sense, now
I've
we
learned
have
more.
on the table. I'm sorry, yeah.
No.
If you want to come in and talk to the community, we can facilitate that. It doesn't take.
Would love to. Would love to. Definitely.
Since you mentioned it, I was going to ask anyway, and according to what Sheriff Hendricks said, has the Board of Education talked a little bit, because you have some competition in the township with the charter schools.
Yes.
How do you speak about that? Yes, because some of the charter schools, are pretty well funded and everything else. So how does the board handle
Well,
it?
charter schools are funded through public school
public
money,
schools,
so
yeah.
they're not funded anywhere else.
They get 10%
And
less than what the public school gets.
Okay.
So
So that 10%
I'm not
is
gonna
still-
argue that.
Yeah,
That's a little, it touches my nerve, so I'll leave that for another day.
That's why.
Yeah, we give like more than 4 million to charter schools, and,
Yeah. Okay.
it's
But
a
that's
lot.
still the same amount of money, but it's still 10% less than what the public school gets from
Okay.
each student.
So
All right.
So they keep.
they get a
10%.
lot of incentives, and, but they have a free hand in doing whatever they want to do. And public school is restricted by a lot of guidelines
Yeah.
by the state. So, we have those issues, but Dr. Ravali and, Mayor Kramer have done a lot of town halls. We did a lot of town halls through Facebook Live and everything. But you give us the opportunity, Dr. Ravali and I will be happy to come to, homeowners associations. We've gone to senior citizen associations, and we'll be happy to talk and share information. We're always open for that. Yeah.
Do you have a director of communications at the
Mary
central
Clark.
office?
Mary Clark is our
Because,
director.
the older people always say, I'm paying taxes to the schools, of course.
Yeah.
So we have to, Sheriff Hendricks says,
Yes.
we have
Yes.
to keep them up to date.
Absolutely.
In a past life, I was an education reporter for a newspaper, and I would rely on a director of communications so that I could get material to put in the paper.
Correct. So the
I-
state doesn't allow us to hire a full-time director of communications. So Mary Clark does part-time director of communications and part-time technology for us. And that's how, we're able to use her as a benefit. So she helps us with our website. She works with the web curators for all the 11 schools. And there's, a lot of stuff that she is able to handle, but she still is able to get out communication. Yeah.
The problem, part of the issue, because I think awareness is partially an issue with getting the word out, even through media.
Correct.
I mean, we have two great local, hyper-local, we call that in the news business, publications that do a great job, but, if the Home News, Tribune, or the Star Ledger are gonna do a story, it has to be something that is of interest beyond just Franklin
And they will
Township.
only come if
So-
there is something bad happening. They won't come,
But
you know,
if you pitch them something that is strategic,
Mhm.
and like something with DEI, for example,
Yes.
without knowing all the whoozy whats, I'm saying this, you know, if that fits in a puzzle as to what's a trend throughout the state,
Right.
or even in the country, we would get into those stories, you know, so,
And we have been, you know, over the years, we'll get into one or two stories, and superintendent's tables, you know, I am the president of the Somerset County School Boards Association. Somerset County knows about Franklin, how we are way ahead. You know, you talk to the other schools, they know that we're so good in, you know, ESL. We are, you know, we won awards in that. They know we are very good in DEI. They will call us to become speakers at panels. So the education community knows the phenomenal work that's happening in Franklin. It's unfortunate that our own community does not know about so many of these programs.
That's
Yeah.
the point I was getting at, and I'm with the comment that the gentleman over here, Mr. Our major problem in the lower economic strata of different communities is lack of communication. They don't know, the founders don't know anything. But let me first say this, you are an excellent, your last name is Mrs. Singh?
Yes.
And you are now the director. I am impressed with your presentation, and I think even I understood everything you were saying, and I ain't such
Thank
a
you.
bright individual. But boy, that you are that person. But the major problem, as the gentleman has spoken before, is there is no, and the things you're saying that you're doing, you know, I know about some of them, but nobody else knows, anybody in my neighborhood, nobody knows nothing at all, even with the new youth center. There's no communication with the residents in the area at all. And there's some way that the educational process, and it's gonna have to find a way to, I know you say you guys don't do, we old time people, I do leaflets, you know, I go around, I know how to do leaflets and all that kind of stuff, you know. I don't know if we have to go back to old school or whatever, but the problem has to be solved in terms of your residents, Franklin Township residents who pay taxes in this town, be able to see what's going on and be in their town and be accessible to the different types of programs that's going on in town.
Yeah.
And it's not happening. That's one of the major problems for us. That's all I'm gonna say.
Marielle Harrison, WhatsApp audio.
Okay, so a couple more goals. Fourth goal, which is responsive programming, support policy and programs that address learning gaps, learning recovery, and learning acceleration to assist students in reaching their full learning potential. Identify, engage, and support students who show the need for expanded levels of rigor. Continue the expansion of innovative college preparation programming and place emphasis on the development of career readiness programs. So we've addressed these learning gaps by implementing virtual high-impact tutoring programs at the elementary levels for students who require Tier 2 and Tier 3. We've implemented in-person high-impact tutoring programs at elementary for students who require Tier 1 interventions. There is after-school credit and seat time recovery program for the high school students, and we continue virtual summer school offerings. We have also expanded invention competition to all school levels. We have competed in the New Jersey School Board STEAM Tank competition. We have expanded CTE offerings to include business marketing and future teachers. We've expanded our pre-K 3 programs with another 75 seats. We've expanded our aviation club, which started as a club, to an elective course. And now we have a drone academy at the RTS, which is the Road to Success program. So that's what we've done in terms of responsive programming. Any questions on that?
You have robotics?
We have
Yeah, we do
robotics.
have robotics. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm a part of the robotics club, and I know a bunch of people who are on the aviation club. I did not know that that this was actually going to now be a class, but I hope for success with them, and that people can actually
Robotics.
get educated, particularly in
Robotics.
aviation engineering.
You guys got any A&I people in there?
We actually have a pilot now from the aviation club, and that's why we're going to.
Those are the ones you gotta
It
watch.
into an elective now. And then our fifth goal is on sustainability and green initiatives
There you
to
go.
reduce food and energy waste, foster environmental awareness, continue increasing clean energy projects, increase recycling efforts, and encourage the Franklin Township Public Schools community to engage in environmentally sound projects, support each school's pursuit of achieving sustainable Jersey certification. We're continuing green projects consistent with sustainable Jersey. We're hosting our second annual Green Fair scheduled at the high school in May. We have already 5 additional schools that have achieved the status. We're maintaining a solar panel at Claremont Elementary. We've applied and obtained 2 grants to replace chillers at Franklin Park School and the high school. We've applied for a local government energy audit, and we've revised and adopted a sustainability policy. And then finally, our 6th goal is community engagement, which is what we were talking about. Work to further relationships and incorporate a multitude of strategies to listen to, connect to, and partner with stakeholders to address community needs. Celebrate and proactively promote the school district within community at large, and ensure family engagement of students attending our schools. We have completed and adopted a new 3-year strategic plan. We continued recognition of community groups by the Board of Education. So at every board meeting, we invite a group of volunteers who have been very active with the schools, and we recognize them, we celebrate them. So Mary Clark does a phenomenal job with that, and it's been like, you know, our booster club parents, our band parents. We have, you know, parents that have constantly given scholarships to students. We invite them over and, you know, recognize and celebrate them as well. We have CTE master classes hosted by our alumni who have come back and done that. We have our high school dance students that perform for and instruct younger students now. So they go into the elementary schools and perform for them and instruct them now. We facilitate special education parent meetings beyond the required SEPAC meetings. We are continuing our partnership with our township, as I mentioned before, to benefit our community. So 3 things that we've done. The Middle Bush building, we are working with the township to convert that into a full pre-K program because we've run out of space. So the township will help us renovate that building, and we will pay rent to run pre-K school classes there. So township and us, it will be a win-win. Township will get rent from us, and they will help us renovate that building, and we'll be able to accommodate much more pre-K3 and pre-K4 students from our community. And I already mentioned about the Zufall Health Center and the Warrior Health Center. And I also mentioned that we're doing the feasibility study with the Franklin Township Food Bank to construct the Warrior Wellness Hub for the food bank. We continue to contribute to the township newsletter. Our high school film students recently entered the Garden State Film Festival and won the New Jersey Hometown Documentary. They will be recognized at New Jersey school boards this year in October. Our alumni successes are shared via electronic publication. We have a newsletter with resources for the community that is published by SAC. Our family FYI updates are provided with information on a variety of family engagement opportunities, and our Franklin Township Youth Center and other community groups are, you know, actively participating and sharing that information. So that's my presentation.
Looks like
And
a
Oh,
busy-
thank
That
you. Any other questions, you know, I'm happy
Great.
to answer.
Looks like you're busy.
Yes, we are busy,
You're
definitely.
in line, you ain't nothing.
Take it up on what you said, that's a good idea.
I'm happy
So
to.
Johnny, make sure you
Coordinate that.
Yes,
Yes.
you got me, whenever you need Mr. Tibbs, you just holler Mr. Tibbs, I'll come running.
Okay.
You know, and I'm already involved in the Sustainable Garden Committee with Tara Kenyon and them. And I know you always, you got your own thing over in the Pine Grove School. But I've just now got the word from Bob last night at the council meeting that they're gonna come in and put my garden in Damon Williams Park. You know, I have a lot of senior citizens, and they did a whole study on the health aspects of the sustainable garden and the health greenery and so forth. So we're trying to get that started. He said as of today, they would start rebuilding the plots and so we can start our garden. So I am involved in that aspect of the part, but I'm gladly be a part of any volunteer. I'm not working anywhere. I volunteer whenever you guys need me for anything at
Well,
all.
we volunteer on the board too. We don't get paid at all, so.
So whenever you guys need
Thank
me.
you so much.
Yeah.
Now, there's something going on. I'm just, with, you know Walter Johnson?
Yes,
You know,
Walter Jackson.
Mr. Walter Jackson, he's my buddy, he's a friend of mine, him and his wife both minister. There's something going on, I just seen, it had a summit, that they would, some men, the guys are teaching the young men how to do certain things or something, it was some kind of a summit. Do you know what that is?
Not.
I remember seeing summit and the young, and the men and the...
I know he is sitting on a panel, but that's not part of the Board of Education. That's a separate
That's a
panel that
separate
he's
type
sitting.
of thing?
Yes.
And I'm trying to find out who that is, what that is.
That's not good domain.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
But my email is on the board website. My phone number is there. You can reach out to me anytime you want, and I'll be happy to show up, come with the superintendent, without the superintendent. However, as long as we are under 4 board members, we can come and visit so we don't have quorum, and we can answer questions and help out.
As you can tell, the HOC is very interested. If you need anything from us, just call me, ask me.
Definitely. And this presentation is also on the school website, so if you want to read more and share more, word of mouth works best. Share it with other people and spread the news.
We ain't got
And
no
then we'll
computer.
have a final report at the end of the school year. This is like a mid-year report, what we've done so far, but there'll be a final report presentation at the end of the school year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks again.
You're welcome. Sure.
Really good. Okay, let's move on. So you can stay, or you can leave?
I'll stay for a few minutes.
Okay, fine. Police report.
Hi everyone, how's everybody doing today?
Good.
Sorry for the inconvenience, there was a major accident.
Accident, yeah.
There was a major accident on Amwell Road. I can't get into the details of it, but it was pretty severe. That's why there was a hectic traffic change in happening. There was a whole bunch of, plain officers, detectives out there helping with traffic.
Somebody hurt?
Yes.
You said
Those
the word
injuries,
severe.
but I can't go into
No, I understand.
Yeah, he said severe.
injuries, but can't go into details.
All right.
So just be careful when you're driving. That's number one, safety first. You can be a safe driver, but however, you're supposed to look out for other drivers. That's what my grandfather always told me, and I stick to it.
Look out for the other
You know,
guy.
even though you're safe, then make sure that you look out for other drivers as well.
All right.
To add on, we've been attending a whole bunch of career fairs all over the county, Somerset County, Essex County, Union County, you name it. We're going to colleges. We're trying to recruit people to come to Franklin. Now, we're supposedly sending people to the police academy. The test will be May 20th, and we are still holding applications available online for $75. So if you know anyone who wants to apply for the police department, I strongly encourage it, because we don't hold the test every year. We do it every 2 years, and this is probably like our only second or third one ever. So,
What is the website they need to go on?
Sure, I will provide the website.
That are interested.
So the website will be on mine, or Facebook and our Instagram, and also you can go on the Township website and figure it out. It's policeapp.com, and you'll type in Somerset County, Franklin Township, and then we should pop up, and then that link will draw you to where you can pay for the application, and then we will receive it, and then we will, based off of your email, we will send you additional details when to arrive here at headquarters or the park, or depending on if it's a written, the written exam is different locations than the PT assessment. All right, so anybody that you refer, just let me know, and then I can make sure I guide them in the right direction. Food distribution will be coming up soon, first Wednesday of the month. What's up, Gary?
Is there new police recruits that you're looking for?
Yes, yep. So I'm recruiting new, so they're not police officers yet, but recruiting, some future police recruitment. That's what we're doing. So we've been doing well. Last year we hired 15.
Franklin Township, they're trying to get recruiters
Right, but-
Franklin Township.
And not only do the police department needs to recruit, I mean, if you're a resident, you know, you're gonna be seeing these officers on the
Have you gone to high
street.
school? Have you gone to the high school with us?
We had a job career, we had a career fair last week at the high school.
You might wanna talk
Yes.
about.
It was already last week, yeah. There was Officer Gregory and Officer Cornegate was present.
Okay.
They are the school resource officer in middle school and high school.
Okay.
We went to Keene University, went to Raritan Valley College.
Okay,
So like I said, we've been all over the county.
that's good.
And we have the food distribution coming up, first Wednesday of the month at 935 Hamilton Street, Community Relations. And that's it. Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns or for me?
Yes, Linda.
Yes, Linda.
So I've been getting a lot of complaints in my 5th ward, complaining about the cars parking on the wrong
Wrong
side
side
of
of
the
the direction, they're facing
Yes.
wrong
street.
direction?
Even the Amazon drivers
Really?
are starting to park on the wrong side of the street, especially on major streets, like for instance, Winston Drive.
It's a huge cut through, so that's pretty dangerous from the
It
park.
is, Foxwood Drive. And I've even actually said to one of the guys, you know, you guys can't do that. You
Right.
need to park on the side where you're delivering the packages
Mhm.
and not park in the opposite direction. Because a lot of people are now out walking and all of a sudden they get ready to cross the street. They gotta run because
Right.
here's the car coming in the
Right.
opposite direction of where they're walking. So a lot of people are starting to complain about the cars being parked
Okay.
on the opposite side of the street where they live.
Okay, well, I'll rectify that and I'll let the traffic division know.
Okay.
The traffic division will then have an approach to that.
Yeah, 'cause it's
detail
it's
area.
all the-
Around what time you believe?
All
like,
day long,
All
because
day?
people just think that's okay for them to park in the opposite direction.
Right,
That live in their homes.
right.
So they just pull up and they just park on the opposite side and they think it's okay.
I can see how that is alarming because Winston to cut through to get to Franklin Boulevard and JFK.
Right.
You'll receive a lot of
That's on Foxwood Drive?
Well, this
Traffic
is
going that way.
between Winston
Just that
and
area
Foxwood.
between
But it's
Winston
just-
and-
It's not just those
Winston and
two
Franklin
streets.
Boulevard, between that whole area.
It's Montrose, it's, huh?
between pretty much JFK and Franklin Boulevard, that whole
That
area.
whole area,
Yeah.
that whole ward, the people are parking on the
Okay.
opposite side of the street. and
I'll
think
make
it-
sure I
and think it's
notify
okay.
Detective Sergeant Leah, and then she will then notify Sergeant Rakes of the traffic
Yeah,
division.
because I think at this point, it should be a notice to the people in a township that you cannot park on the opposite side of the street like that.
Now,
We are not in the
especially-
country.
And if
you
it's,
know.
absolutely, and I want you to feel safe, especially if there's gonna be a lot of walkers there.
Yes,
Weather's breaking, and
Right.
if you do see something, you know, call. And if you
I
don't wanna
call.
wait for the traffic division, and they still didn't
Trust me,
issue any
I
tickets or
call.
anything?
Good call.
You did call?
I've called
Okay.
many a
So
time.
I'll let Sergeant Leah know because she's the supervisor of
Okay,
the community
Leah?
relations unit, then she'll relate that to
It's good to know.
Okay.
Sergeant Rakes.
Yes,
Any-
Johnny.
You probably didn't heard this already, Officer,
Belvin.
Bell. Pardon?
so,
I got a problem now. I talked to Bob last night and he was like, well, you got to see the police department and so forth. Now, I've told him several times that one of the kids gonna get killed, and I'm gonna come for look for him. Now, I told the council 3 times now. Now, up and down Mark Street, you know, by the park. The guys be coming up down 100 miles an hour down there, it's down back further down the street, man, you know.
On Mark Street?
On Mark Street, just from the corner of, and Matilda.
Right, coming from Matilda.
You know, Matilda, just that one park, just past the senior citizen.
Park
Just that
side.
one step there, just by the park, from the park to the one park to the other. Now, somebody gonna get hit, some of them kids gonna get hit sooner or later. Now, I told them 3 times, to at least put a couple of them things in the road. You know?
Speed bumps?
Yeah, well, the speed, that's a small one, just a small thing, just to slow the guys down. And after, this is about the 3rd time I told him last night, you know, he said, well, he'll tell us, all right, I'll tell the police department, and, you know, maybe we can do something about it.
nothing happened.
But it's the 3rd time I done told him. Now, you know, there's nothing else I can do. There's signs in there, but they still come down and and now you know you can't go up that fast down that far. And then, cause all the kids live
It's a short street.
right
too.
there, right, you know what I mean?
I know where it is.
So I thought I'd send mention to you that you can tell the traffic department, if there's anything they can do, just in that little stretch, by the park, that's all we're talking about, by the park, from Matilda to Normal Avenue, you know, that would be great.
Okay,
Yeah,
I will
okay.
relate that to them. Sometime they're normally before a speed bump, they will put speed signs there to collect data. And then after they collect data, they'll see, depending
it's
on
possible,
the data,
okay.
if it's possible for a speed bump. And then the township will have to grant,
Approve
but
it,
that's
yeah.
a traffic division issue that I can relate that to Sergeant Lee. and
If they do it, fine, but if they don't do it, I know it's a hassle if they, you know, they don't do, I understand, but I thought I'd just.
Absolutely.
I was just to mention it anyway.
Absolutely, and if anything, in the
And I'm gonna
summertime, we'll
piggyback
try
on
to
that.
Well,
What he
thank-
just said,
thank you.
because too on Winston Drive, same thing.
cut through,
They
yeah.
need to put a speed bump or something, because even the school buses, the company that the young lady just left that talked about, what was the name of the bus?
On top.
I could be in my window and I could videotape them coming down and they're not doing 25
Right.
miles per hour.
Hey, it's
So
pretty
because it's a
dangerous. They're doing
curve.
like 45
Right,
sometimes.
and
you
it's
know,
a
it's
curve
catching
there,
them.
so they're not even on, in the right lane, they're
Mhm.
across the double yellow line and
Right.
coming down,
Right.
so.
Okay,
Any
so,
other questions to
this is a
the
big
police?
issue, so I'll make sure I'll notify the traffic
There is a
division.
new development coming
Thank
up
you.
on Cedar Grove Lane and Amber Road.
Cedar Grove, Amber, yeah.
Cedar Grove and
What
Amwell?
is going on?
Well, they
What's,
just
what's
have
that, the
to-
cones?
No, there's a new development, some kind of.
Oh, new development.
Yeah, there's no sign there. Is that, what is it?
Cedar Grove.
Right behind the,
Amber
Now,
Road.
you're saying like
Shell
right behind the
station.
Shell gas
Shell
station
gas
on
station.
Cedar Grove?
yeah, Shell.
Yeah, so right behind Restos, yeah,
Restos?
they're
Oh, Restos.
building,
They're building apartment complexes.
they're building apartment.
Is they?
I didn't even hear.
Behind Buster's?
Did you?
There's no sign there, there's nothing there.
What kind
No
of apartments?
Big apartments.
Yeah,
Huh?
Big houses.
big, yeah.
Big houses.
Houses, not
Who's
apartments.
who's building?
Oh, that's a township issue, like, the police wouldn't,
Ain't got nothing to do with it, right?
You can blame the zoning board.
yeah. Any
Let's
other,
move on.
anybody all right?
Let's move on.
Yeah.
So I wanna go now because I'm probably gonna be needed for that, accident.
That accident, right, right.
Yeah.
Road
Okay,
blockage, all right?
let's
So if you
move
need to
on.
leave, try to leave out the back way.
Okay.
Oh, okay, thanks, yeah, thanks,
problem.
that's right.
Let's move on.
Take it.
Regarding the Kmart shopping center now, you know, I'm on the zoning board, that application is gonna continue next Thursday, the 9th. So
Next
if you're
Thursday.
interested, come to the zoning board. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Say that again, girl, you did that quick, man.
Peter, do you wanna?
I don't, I got Ed now also, I want to make sure I didn't consider, thing, I can be real quick. You know, the president of the Board of Ed just mentioned the fact that they have the Diversity Night Festival coming up this Friday, May 3rd.
Right.
6 to 8, we have a table there.
Right.
So if anybody can be there, you know, I'll be there, obviously.
What time is that?
6 to 8 over at the Franklin Middle School, that's the Hamilton Street,
May 3rd, you said?
May 3rd, yeah, Friday.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
It's Friday.
Is it a
That's a
summit?
diversity
I'm not
night.
home.
Is that diversity night?
Yeah, they had, the issue is their first initiative, they have about 400 or 500 people.
I'm gonna be away.
Okay.
But
So if anybody can put a half hour in, I'm gonna be there from 6 to 8.
It's a Friday, right?
It's a Friday.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, Friday night.
Right. The only thing is, you know, resources, what do we give out? That's one of the things we talked about in the future, maybe, is having a pamphlet on our mission statement, our goals, and also the members of
the
the
only problem is I
committee.
have to go to Karasi. We have no money.
No, yeah.
We have to go to Karasi.
Yeah.
So what will we have there then?
Well, I'm gonna try to get some information from New Jersey State Bar Foundation. They have some things on diversity and on bias, so I'll have some things on the table there. But go off the website there and have our mission statement and also the names of the members on there. And we're on YouTube, which is pretty something that we're on YouTube. I don't know what
Anybody
the other ones are.
that can help.
But anyway, they all have something there. But I think the most important thing was to, you know, there's a unification or working with the Franklin Board of Education and the Franklin Township. But this, you know, I
I'm gonna be
mean,
out of
with both of them. So that was for last year. We really didn't know about it till the last minute.
Yeah, last minute.
This year with the presentation and everything else, and it's, you know, with good public relations with working with the schools.
Okay, so anybody that can help, that'll be great.
Where's the location?
It is at the Franklin Middle School, the Hamilton Street campus. Right.
Yeah,
And we do have a table there, so,
It's the old high school.
yeah, one of the things is, I don't know if the town, I'm gonna reach out to see if the township, we don't have, obviously, a banner that says human relations, but they do have a tablecloths, this says Franklin Township, that I'm gonna try to get, if not, we'll get something to put over from the dollar store, just to make it look a little
We have
professional.
a symbol on our website.
Right.
Edna, update on the flags and other towns.
So I sent around the website to the Hometown Heroes Flags program, which is what it's called, so that you could look at it and read. There's a fill-in form on that website if you want to speak to someone on behalf of the organization, the people that are, every community district has someone charged with helping towns like ours to organize. So I filled out the fill-in form, gave my phone number as the contact, and haven't received a call back yet. I also reached out to the Bound Brook, to Kendall Lopez, who's a council member in Bound Brook, because they organized one. He put me in contact with the business community there, the equivalent of what we used to have with the Hamilton business district. So I have called her like 3 times. I've left messages, haven't heard back from her yet. And then today, actually, I spoke to the Chamber of Commerce president, who invited me to come and present the program at their... Yes, yeah, thank you, yes. Who invited me to come and present the program at their next meeting.
Good.
Because, and their next meeting is in approximately 3 weeks, it's the second Thursday of the month, so second Thursday in May. So from what I have investigated so far, it appears that most communities pass along the cost of the flag to the families whose loved one is being represented in the flag. There are flags of different sizes, you know. That's not the only way to do this, though. There are instances where nonprofits have helped to fund the creation of the flags and the raising of the flags. I think there are many things that we have to consider once we find partners, because I think this is something that we can't do alone, the Human Relations Commission. Obviously, the council has to give us permission to do it, but we also need some partners within the township to join in the effort of organizing this.
If you have the chamber behind you,
Yeah, so,
that would be good.
and I will reach out to the Hamilton
Did they
district.
give you pricing yet on what it
no,
costs per family for those flags to be hung?
Are you still having this?
Yeah.
And I'd say it's a great idea. You know, a lot of towns either do the signs, you know, or the banners as you're talking about. The recommendation is be involved in another town that I was living in, is that reaching out to the American Legion, the VFW, and talking to them a little bit, and get the support with them for it. I'm you know, sure there's not going to be a doubt about it. And then maybe they can give you some direction.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, and give you a subcommittee
I
together.
think ideally it would be great if we had that, you know, so the chamber, I'll present.
Canal,
Yeah, Canal Walk, yeah, actually, yeah. But I mean, you do have American,
are you a Canal Walk?
I am,
Oh,
yeah,
because-
we had a program today, actually.
They have a large.
Yes, they do, yeah, they have about 50, so, yeah.
So I thank you for that.
Yeah, and I'll be glad to help you out a little bit with that.
Sure.
Especially, I'm a little bit of a liaison with the American Legion and the VFW, not necessarily in Franklin, but in North Brunswick I was. So I know that, you know, the program, and Milltown does have a program with the banners there.
So I see this as, now that you've mentioned them, most definitely the chamber, the representatives of the Hamilton business community also, which of course some of those may also be members of the chamber and probably are, as well as these 2 groups that you're mentioning now too, the VFW and
They probably
the
need some
American
direction
Legion.
on funding, because no one turns out of bed.
Yeah.
No one comes out of funding.
How soon do you think you would be able to?
I mean, I think this is going to take months, so I would see that we would have something up in November, like for Veterans Day. Yeah, sometime in the fall.
Again, just a recommendation, suggestion. is probably get a little subcommittee together of all the people that you just talked about and meet, you know what I mean, to start putting some things on the table.
Yeah. I think one question, though, I need answered is how soon would we go to the township? Can we go to the council now?
Well, Karachi's not here tonight, he's our liaison, so we'll have to check with him, and we ask him, because he goes to the council on our behalf. He's our liaison now. He's away, but yes, we could send him an email, or I'll be happy to do it.
Okay, just so we can get on the agenda.
Which street are we thinking of?
Well, I think that's something that collectively has to be decided, you know, whether we would look into putting these flags, you know, on Hamilton Street.
Yeah, that's where it used to be, but
yeah.
no heroes.
Yeah, or would we think about doing something on this campus, because we have memorial sculptures on this
Correct.
campus, you know, for each of the armed forces. So again, I think that's still up to discussion.
But a lot
You
of
know.
towns have them within the township,
Right.
not just in the one
Yeah.
designated
And
area.
a lot of those towns, though, like in Bound Brook, have a
Bound Brook.
designated downtown.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
for all intents and purposes, Hamilton functions
Hamilton
like
is
that
supposed
because,
to be-
but it's not the same as, you know, like in Raritan, for example, it's downtown.
Right.
You know, in
Right,
downtown
right,
Raritan,
right.
yeah.
How about the
Right.
But
county?
Hamilton is supposed to be the
How about
downtown.
the
Yeah.
county?
Mhm.
Would that be interesting?
Yeah,
You have kind of the county,
yeah, I would think so.
so you might want to check with the
Main
county.
Street, yeah,
Mhm.
She's our county person.
yeah.
Okay, thank you, that's very good, thank you for the, okay, the next month is a Memorial Day. We do not meet because it's Memorial Day, so our next HRC meeting is June 26th.
Which will be my last meeting.
We did not have a meeting.
You're graduating.
Oh, it's right, June
Do you
26th.
know where you're going to school?
I want to go to the New Brunswick campus
Will
for
you be
Rutgers.
here on June?
Yes, I will be there for June.
Because that's your last meeting.
Yes.
That's your last, yeah.
Yes.
We have to find a new
I have
student.
candidates in mind.
A new student.
Well, who is this young man?
Rohan.
If he's not a new student?
Yeah, well, he's our,
He will become the new superintendent.
Newest commissioner.
he continues next year.
Yes. So he's
All right,
going to upgrade.
Do I have
He's been
anything
typing
else?
away, okay.
Anyone has anything else? If not, I'll entertain a meeting for
Terry,
adjournment.
thanks for getting the board presentation, that was very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, it was,
Very
that
informative.
was great, that was so great.
Last time with the police chief.
Man, she had a whole lot
Very
to
thorough
say.
presentation, man.
I know,
She had a whole
Johnny,
lot.
you enjoyed this.
I really-
It's a wealth of information.
Because she was very specific in what she was talking about too, you know, you the people have a lot of gray
I
areas.
would like a copy
You know?
of her
Oh,
report.
Husband and.
Yes, I'm telling you.
I just have one other thing, if anybody gets a chance, take a look at Mr. Tibbs' article here. Very interesting, part of history.
72, Joanne.
Was that
Jim was driving the.
I need a meeting to adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
to the group?
Give me a second. Okay. Thank you all.
I got the Shirley Chisholm.
Michelle's got to come.
Thank you.
Oh, it's at the lawn, 8 o'clock alone. Yeah, for you.
I had a chance to meet her
For June 21st.
when the National Democratic Convention was in Atlanta,
Really?
because my husband played for Braves. So-
Well, I had that to keep for you, that's for you to put in your file.
Okay, I got a
Will
chance,
be
I got a
June
chance to meet her.
I got another one, he wants one, I got another
Very,
one.
very gracious, very nice.
That's the first black woman
Yeah.
that ever ran for the president of the United States.
Yes.
That's what that is.
Thank you.
I'd like you to.
Yeah. She passed away.
Thank you all.
And I had her in my car in 1960.
Right?
Yes.